Now, phone call anxiety amongst young workers is a big deal, with recent surveys suggesting that many Gen Z employees find making or receiving voice calls scary or unnecessary. Now, according to one study by USwitch, a quarter of this age group have never answered their phone. Not once. But this reticence is a challenge for employers, many of whom expect workers to use voice calls for client calls or to staff customer service lines and such like. So, in a world dominated by remote work, Zoom calls and text messaging, Mary Jane Copps, aka the phone lady, is the person you need to turn to when speaking on the phone makes you feel uneasy. And I'm glad to say that she joins us now. Hello there, Mary Jane. First off,
morning.
When we talk about Gen Z, I said this age group. What is the age group?
It is usually people under the age of 40 and 45.
There's a real problem with Gen Z, isn't there? Because it's not just the phone. I mean, they have issues communicating.
To some extent, yes, they do. They have grown up in a world where texting is a great option, and texting allows them to think and edit in a conversation. So then when they're faced with a real-time conversation, be that on the phone or video or even in person, they experience anxiety and fear.
Yeah, I mean, eye contact, body language, fragility, no respect of authority. I could go on and on. But, you know, there has to be a solution, Mary Jane. Just talk us through some of the solutions you work on.
When I'm working with a team and there are people that are really uncomfortable about speaking on the phone, what I help them recognize is that talking on the phone is a skill. And for many of us in the workplace, we never recognized this because we grew up with a host phone and we were able to talk on the phone from the time we were very, very young. So I like to compare talking on the phone with public speaking. So it's a skill, you do have to get comfortable with it. So there are skills that I can deliver in workshops and so on, but the bottom line after that is that they have to practice. So I do start by getting them to make phone calls to family, friends, and practice that. They can book those phone calls ahead of time so the other person actually answers.
Do you think potentially this is opening the door for AI and putting these workers out of work unless they crack it and start communicating? Because it's a question of, do we adapt to them or do they have to adapt to the way of work?
It's hard to say. I'm certainly keeping a close eye on AI and what that's going to mean. But there are many, many businesses that still demand that they are able to talk to their customers or their prospects on the phone. And we'll have more data on this in September. I'm working with a project there with Moneypenny, which is the UK's leading phone answering service. And they are completing a survey next week of employers in the UK and the US.
Okay, Mary Jane Copps, thank you very much indeed. I know many people don't even know how to answer the phone. I remember answering, hello, this is the Burak residence. I don't know what people would say today. You're watching BBC News. Stay with us.